Good morning. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans News. There's good news and there's bad news when it comes to Celtic this morning. Heartbreak for two Celtic players, and good news for another four, kind of. We'll get to the good news first before we go to the heartbreak of last night for a couple of Celtic players. The good news is obviously the fact that we are in the international week. The manager, Martin O'Neill, did say that we would have some players back after the international break. And some of those players, well, we know two of them. Alistair Johnston, he will be back. He's had already joined in with training. He's away with the international team to see how they do. And Arne Engels, he will be back also. But a bit of good news is Callum Osmond is also expected back. So with those three, you would think it was good enough. But the return of Julian Arrojo, we all thought that he's went down south. Will he return? Will he even be back at Celtic before the end of the season? It looks like that he may be, even though he's down there getting treatment for a thigh injury. We're not sure the extent of the thigh injury. I think the big one for me is Callum Osmond. Callum Osmond is a fantastic player that obviously came into the club, came through, replaced Daniel Cummins, who left last year, who decided didn't want to hang around at Celtic because he never saw a pathway. So Celtic went out and said, well, we need to replace him with someone of a similar age and maybe even a better ability. And Callum Osmond was the player that they managed to get in. He did get some first team games, not as much as he was maybe hoping for, considering the mess that we were in striker wise. At the beginning of the season, well, it's the whole season, isn't it? I mean, Callum Osmond would have been right up there as number one striker this season if, and purely by default, not through any real engineering by Celtic, but he would have found himself as number one striker as Johnny Kenny was shipped out in the last window to get some game time and get his confidence back up, even though he said he was confident as anything. Ultimately, he ended up on the bench for the Ireland game last night. I think looking forward to the return of football next weekend, not this weekend. It'll be interesting actually this weekend because we all know that Daizen Maeda hasn't been performing for Celtic and he's currently training in Scotland with Japan. And it makes you think to yourself, what kind of performance is Daizen going to put in? Because if he puts in a performance that's a way up above anything that he's done at Celtic all year, it will only aggravate the Celtic fans even more. It will only aggravate them in the fact that, yeah, he's not interested in Celtic. Every player that plays for their national team is obviously going to put in 110% for their national team. But Celtic fans will look at his performance to see if it is 20, 30 times better than what he's done at Celtic all season, that's for sure. That'll be an interesting game to watch this weekend. Now, after going 2-0 up last night, you're thinking, yep, you've got your foot in the next part of the qualifying. Come on, Ireland, you can do it. Liam Scales wasn't playing. No, Liam Scales was left out because of he was banned. Let's face it, he was serving a suspension for too many yellow cards, and we all know how much they knock up during the season with Liam Scales. But he was probably glad that he missed it out, or would he? He probably would have been devastated, actually. And Ireland went with a strange formation, and I think it's maybe a formation that Celtic should maybe look at going forward. We've tried the 4-2-3-1 formation. These Celtic players don't seem to be able to play it. Last night, Ireland played with a 3-4-2-1 formation. 4 in the midfield, 2 kind of just up in front. And you're thinking to yourself, that could be a quite good formation for Scottish football. Might help. There's no need for really 4 at the back in Scottish football. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day. I thought it was quite a good formation. After going 2-0 up, the first one was a penalty, and then the second goal was a cracker. And then you look at, they give away a penalty. Pulling off the shirt in the box by an Irish player. It's as if Liam Scales was there in person. Just pull his shirt, mate. It'll be fine. Ultimately, it went to 2-1, and then there was quite a boring second half. It wasn't that boring, was it? It was an interesting second half, but Ireland conceded a goal in the 85th minute. And I'm kind of glad I didn't stay on to watch it because ultimately it ended up going to penalties. And Ireland lost out on penalties last night. After all the excitement of Ireland almost getting through. And I'm only talking about it because obviously the Irish connection to Celtic. My grandma's Irish, and there's quite a lot of Irish supporters and a lot of Irish people watch the channel. I'm absolutely devastated for you this morning. I was kind of hoping that you would get through because it would have been a cracker World Cup, having the Scotland fans and Ireland fans just having pure havoc in the USA more than anything, drinking the country dry. Don't know, that would have been the fantastic part of it, and just pure party mode. Don't know, none of the nonsense that comes along with some other fan bases. Don't know, when Scotland go, there's always a party. When the Irish fans goes, it's just a piss up, isn't it? It's pretty the same. And I think that would be the downside of the World Cup. The fact it's in America and stuff as well. I think that it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Anyway, that is the news this morning. It is just a quick one. Heartbreak for Ireland. Injury updates when it comes to some players coming back. Callum Osmond. How good do you think that Callum Osmond can be in the running? Can he make more an impact than the strikers that we already have? I think we all know the answer for that because the strikers that we have aren't making an impact at all, are they? And that's been the big bugbear. Let's just hope we get Callum back, Osmond back, and keep him fully fit. Be interesting to see Alistair Johnson back as well, and also if Julian Araujo comes back. And I wonder if Celtic will make a move to buy Araujo in the summer. Yesterday, the 2 days ago now, there was some journalists talking about the fact that Celtic may be up for sale, but it's not up for sale. And they were debating why Celtic are hoarding money. Well, they're going to have to spend the best part of 30-40 million in the summer, so that wipes out pretty much the profit from last year anyway, because there won't be as much profit this year within the club. So we discussed that slightly last night while trying to watch the Ireland game, and that was it. So having a night off tonight, as I always do on a Friday. I shall see you tomorrow morning, and then we might do something for the Scotland game. Should we do a little watch along for the Scotland game to watch that and see how some of the Scotland players are, because there's a lot of people saying that we should be buying more Scottish players. And is there anyone else in the team? I mean, Tony Ralston's going to start for starters. Maybe gives you the level of the Scotland players that are out with Celtic. Obviously, there are some fantastic Scottish players, and I see when McTominay's getting a big hefty clause put into his contract in case anybody comes sniffing about him after the World Cup. The Italians are putting in a big hefty clause in his contract. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for the day. Have an absolutely fantastic day wherever you are, Celtic fans all around the world.